The concept of the anointed ones is a notion that warrants consideration, given its implications for the individual and the collective. The notion suggests that even the forces of darkness, such as the devil, are susceptible to the influence of the chosen ones. This notion warrants further examination, as it implies that those who are chosen are capable of overcoming the forces of darkness, which is a notion that can provide solace and motivation. It is important to note that the concept of the anointed ones is not to be taken lightly, as it suggests a level of protection and support that may be beyond the scope of typical fears. The notion that the chosen ones occupy a realm that eludes the grasp of demons is a concept that merits consideration. The notion that a person's destiny is not subject to the whims of fate, but is instead safeguarded by a divine force, is a concept that warrants examination. The notion that even the most malevolent entities are deterred by this unbreakable barrier is a notion that warrants consideration. The question of why, despite the surrounding chaos, one consistently manages to ascend is not merely a matter of luck, but rather, a testament to a higher power. This higher power, in its infinite wisdom, has bestowed upon the chosen ones a front position, a position that provides protection and strengthens their resolve. It is imperative to recognize that the destiny of a chosen one is not subject to the ordinary forces of fate. Instead, it is sealed with a divine protective barrier, an impenetrable force field that repels even the most malevolent spirits, who, when confronted with such a destiny, respond with a resounding, "No, thank you, not today." It is important to understand that this phenomenon is not merely a matter of luck, but rather a divine gift that grants a privileged view of one's enemies as they scramble in disarray. The expression on their faces when they realize their inability to harm a chosen one is truly priceless. Firstly, the soul of a chosen one vibrates at a frequency that is beyond the perception of demons. Chosen ones operate on a level of existence that is entirely beyond the comprehension of dark forces. It is akin to attempting to tune into a radio station that does not exist within their frequency range. Demons and malevolent entities are unable to comprehend this phenomenon. Entities operating on lower vibrations, feeding off fear, doubt, and negativity, are unable to access the energy of a chosen one, let alone comprehend it. The soul vibrates at such a high frequency that demons are incapable of locating the chosen one, much less inflict harm. The chosen one operates in a realm that the demons are unable to access. While demons might attempt to mess with the average person, they are unable to do so with the chosen one. Entities find themselves entrapped in lower vibrations, feeding off fear, doubt, and negativity. However, the energy of a chosen one is something they cannot touch, let alone understand. One's soul vibrates at such a high frequency that demons are unable to locate them, much less inflict harm. One can conceptualize this as operating in a realm that they are incapable of accessing. While they might attempt to mess with the average person, they are unable to do so with chosen ones due to an impenetrable wall of spiritual energy. This is not merely a matter of defense, it is the inability to grasp one's essence. To them, one is a walking enigma, a beacon of light that they cannot dim. Consequently, their attacks seem to bounce off without even scratching the surface. One has been marked, not just for protection, but for elevation out of their reach entirely. This energy difference not only confuses them, it scares them. They thrive in darkness. This spiritual fortification is not merely a matter of defense, it is an impenetrable barrier to their comprehension of one's essence. They perceive one as an enigma, a beacon of light that cannot be dimmed. Consequently, their attacks appear to merely deflect, failing to penetrate the shield. One has been marked not only for protection but also for elevation beyond their reach. This energy disparity not only confuses them but also evokes fear. They thrive in the shadows of ignorance and fear. However, the existence of a chosen one serves as a luminous beacon, a bright, glaring spotlight. The purpose is not merely protection, it is the manifestation of one's true power, so immense that it remains beyond their grasp. They are unable to comprehend what they cannot perceive, leading them to avoid one. Powerless and baffled, they are an untouchable enigma in their world. Secondly, the divine contract over one's life is non-negotiable. Your destiny was predetermined long before any dark force could contemplate interference. The truth is that no demon, no enemy, no force, no matter how powerful, can alter what God has already sealed. This can be likened to a contract with your life written in divine ink, with no provision for modification, cancellation, or interference. God's will over your life is non-negotiable. It is imperative to acknowledge that one's destiny is determined by a divine contract that predates any intervention by malevolent forces. This contract, inked in the eternal ink of divinity, is unalterable by any entity, be it a demon, an adversary, or a force. The notion of a contract with one's life, inked in divine ink, signifies an inviolable agreement that cannot be modified, cancelled, or interfered with. The will of God for one's life is considered non-negotiable, rendering any attempts by dark forces to alter this course futile. Despite the attempts to attack or distract, the outcome remains predetermined. One is chosen for a purpose, and this purpose is accompanied by unbreakable protection. Every action taken is in accordance with a divine plan that has been established before one's birth, ensuring that life's journey is charted according to a higher design. Demons and negative energies may endeavor to derail this divine plan, but their efforts are futile, as the contract with one's life is unwavering and inviolable. It is imperative to acknowledge that the concept of being untouchable in this context does not imply invincibility or immunity to external influences. Rather, it signifies an inherent and unalterable destiny that has been predetermined. This predestined purpose is believed to be in alignment with a divine plan, one that is believed to be set in motion prior to one's birth. Consequently, the notion of dark forces attempting to disrupt this course is regarded as futile, as the outcome has already been established. The concept of unbreakable protection is posited, suggesting that every action taken is meticulously orchestrated within a larger, preordained scheme. This protective barrier is believed to be a guarantee that no external force or attack can alter the predefined course of events. The notion of a divine contract over one's life is further elaborated upon, emphasizing not only the act of protection but also the intention of elevating the individual. It is asserted that any attempt to harm the individual is inherently absorbed into this contract, thereby fortifying and enhancing the destiny. This phenomenon can be likened to the recycling of energy into growth, where attempts to subvert one's progress are met with the opposite effect, propelling them towards their destined path. This phenomenon transcends the realms of mere luck or chance, representing a higher form of authority over one's life that transcends human comprehension. Dark forces recognize this protective barrier and fear it, recognizing that it cannot be overcome. It has been demonstrated that these entities appear to utilize a process of energy recycling, which redirects their own negative energy towards the growth and development of the individual. Their attempts to exert influence and manipulate the individual are met with a counterproductive outcome, leading to the individual's advancement towards their intended destination. This phenomenon does not stem from luck or chance, but rather from a higher power that exerts a protective influence over the individual's life. The dark forces, which include demonic entities, recognize and fear this higher power, which is believed to be invincible to their manipulative tactics. The moment an individual becomes aware of the methods by which dark forces operate, their power over that individual is effectively shattered. Negative energies, or demons, depend on manipulation and deceit to gain control. They thrive in environments where there is a lack of awareness, such as in the shadows, where their actions go unnoticed. However, once an individual becomes aware of these manipulative tactics, the individual's ability to resist and counteract the influence of these negative energies is significantly increased. A chosen one, recognizing the games played by demons, can overcome their manipulation. The power of demons comes from illusion, and the moment a chosen one sees through this illusion, they lose any grip they might have had on the chosen one's life. It is not just protection that keeps demons at bay, it is awareness that neutralizes them. Demons try to plant seeds of negativity in the mind, hoping the chosen one will. Those who have been selected must discern the machinations of their adversaries. The moment they become aware of these machinations, their hold on them is broken. It is not merely a question of protection that keeps these forces at bay, it is the awareness of the individual that neutralizes them. These forces attempt to instill seeds of negativity in the minds of individuals, hoping that the individual will then expend their own energy in support of these negative forces. However, once an individual becomes aware of the methods employed by these forces, those seeds cannot take root. The forces cannot manipulate what the individual already knows. The individual no longer serves as a pawn in the game of these forces because they refuse to play by the force's rules. This awareness does not merely serve as a shield, it is a sword. With each thought that is aligned with truth and light, the individual cuts through the force's illusions. Demons fear chosen ones not just because of the fourth aspect pertains to the recognition that the battle, which was initiated before its commencement, was already won. The victory was guaranteed from the moment of one's selection. Despite the efforts of demons and dark forces to devise strategies, set traps, and prepare to attack, they are unable to prevail. The seeds of their influence cannot take root due to the awareness that has been acquired. The individual becomes immune to their manipulation, as they no longer function as pawns in their game. This awareness serves not only as a shield but also as a sword, capable of cutting through their illusions with each thought that aligns with truth and light. Demons fear chosen ones not only due to the divine protection they carry, but also because chosen ones possess the ability to discern lies. It is as if they possess a superpower. Their entire strategy falls apart when exposed, as they cannot control what they cannot deceive. The primary reason dark forces fear you is not only your protection, but also your awareness of their actions. They are terrified of your awareness because, once you are wise to their games, they have lost the upper hand. The notion that individuals are chosen ones, who are endowed with a natural ability to recognize and circumvent the machinations of malevolent entities, is a contentious one. The very basis of this concept that one's inherent awareness enables one to circumvent the potential for harm is at the crux of the conflict. The very existence of such a concept is, in itself, a form of power, a reality that is acknowledged by the very forces that are purported to be vanquished by the chosen ones. The very acknowledgement of this concept, therefore, instigates a state of powerlessness among the forces in question, leading to a state of vulnerability and, ultimately, a loss of control. The concept of being untouchable is, in itself, a form of power, a reality that is acknowledged by the forces that are purported to be vanquished by the chosen ones. The very acknowledgement of this concept, therefore, instigates a state of powerlessness among the forces in question, leading to a state of vulnerability and, ultimately, a loss of control. The concept of a battle, that is, over before it begins, and a battle, that is, over before it even starts, is a contentious one. The notion that a chosen one is guaranteed victory from the moment of their choice is a contentious one. The very existence of such a concept instigates a state of powerlessness among the forces in question, leading to a state of vulnerability and, ultimately, a loss of control. The forces of evil are ultimately unsuccessful in their attempts to vanquish the chosen one. This is because the chosen one's destiny is predetermined, and no amount of opposition can alter this fate. The forces of evil attempt to attack the chosen one, but their efforts are in vain. The enemy spends an inordinate amount of time and energy trying to defeat the chosen one, but ultimately, they are the ones who are defeated. The enemy creates chaos and confusion, but in the end, these efforts are futile. It must be acknowledged that the forces of opposition have been unsuccessful in their attempts to alter the course of events that have already been determined. Their efforts, which are seemingly meticulous and well strategized, are ultimately in vain. It is important to recognize that the opposition has expended significant time and energy attempting to alter the course of events, yet their efforts have consistently fallen short of their objectives. It is as if they are attempting to attack an entity that is already beyond their reach. This is due to the fact that the life of the individual in question is intricately tied to a divine purpose that is impervious to their influence. It is noteworthy that the opposition does not become aware of their failure until they endeavor to take action against the individual in question. Each time they attempt to strike, they are thwarted. They are repeatedly and explicitly informed that their efforts are futile. They are incapable of harming you because you are protected by forces that are beyond their comprehension. Their actions are akin to striking against an invisible target. Nothing they do can reach you because God's plan for you was established long before they even considered intervening. Your purpose, your path, and your victory were predetermined before any attack could be initiated. Dark forces can attempt all they want, but they will never succeed. Nevertheless, the forces of darkness are incapable of posing a genuine threat to one's well-being. This is due to the fact that one's destiny has already been determined, rendering any attempt by demonic entities to alter this course futile. The presence of true authority is inherently unwelcome to such entities, and they seek no closer proximity. The conflict is not a fair battle, it is a war that was already lost before it began. This is what makes one truly invincible, the fact that one's destiny has already been determined, and no demon can alter the outcome. Demons cannot thrive in the presence of true authority. They cannot survive in the presence of true authority. It is not just that they avoid one, they cannot endure being anywhere near one because of the power one carries. As a chosen one does not merely walk around protected, one walks with a level of spiritual authority that makes dark forces scatter the moment one appears. It is as if one carries a force field, but it is even stronger than that. It is an undeniable presence, something so powerful that demons do not just avoid it, they fear it. Dark forces thrive in places where there is the presence of a chosen one is enough to disrupt the presence of dark forces. The chosen one is not merely protected, they carry a level of spiritual authority that causes dark forces to scatter the moment they appear. This force field is stronger than any other, and it is undeniable. Demons avoid it, they fear it. Dark forces thrive in places where chaos, fear, and confusion abound. However, the moment a chosen one steps into the picture, it is game over. The dark forces cannot thrive in that space anymore. The chosen one does not need to fight them off, they flee on their own. It is as if they are allergic to the energy the chosen one brings. The dark forces can sense it the second the chosen one appears. They know who the chosen one is and what they carry. This phenomenon is not merely a matter of physical protection, it signifies an inherent and formidable authority that is intimidating to those who wield such power. The presence of such an individual serves as a deterrent, as the opposing forces recognize the challenge they pose and choose to avoid direct confrontation. The level of protection and dominance exhibited is not merely a physical shield, it is an indication of a higher power and influence that is overwhelming for those who encounter it. The ability to disrupt the presence of such forces is not just a matter of physical survival, it is a disruption of their very essence, a challenge to their authority that they are unable to overcome. The reason why these entities do not directly engage with you is not merely a matter of protection, it is the recognition of your representation of a formidable power that they cannot overcome. They are aware that engaging with you would be akin to entering a confrontation that they would be unable to win. It is not merely a matter of survival, it is a disruption of their influence. They recognize that they cannot simply take you because the authority you possess is not subject to their challenge. This authority is bestowed upon you by a higher power, and that power commands respect. Consequently, they maintain a distance, not out of choice, but out of necessity. They cannot thrive in the presence of someone who embodies true authority. Your energy serves as a divine firewall. Demons feed on fear, which is their preferred instrument. The possession of true authority is accompanied by an inherent sense of responsibility, which is reflected in the respect that is commanded by those in positions of power. Individuals in such positions are often met with a certain degree of distance, not out of choice, but rather as a natural response to the overwhelming presence of authority. The energy that emanates from such individuals serves as a formidable barrier, a divine firewall that demons must circumvent in order to gain influence over the lives of others. These entities recognize that fear is a primary tool in the arsenal of those they seek to manipulate, as it often leads to hesitation, doubt, and a perception of powerlessness. However, it is crucial to note that those chosen to carry the light of authority are not subject to these influences. Their unique status and the trust placed in them renders fear, and its associated tactics, ineffective. When a chosen one appears, the fear that serves as a tool for demonic influence dissipates. This does not imply an absence of challenges or threats, rather, it signifies an ability to face and overcome these challenges with fortitude and resilience. In the face of adversity, it is crucial to maintain composure and not succumb to fear. Instead, one should approach life with a mindset rooted in faith and the understanding that one's journey is guided by a higher power, transcending the challenges that may be encountered. Fear may momentarily visit, but it is not permitted to take root. This resilience is what confers invincibility. When confronted with adversity, it is essential to respond with purpose, rather than reacting out of fear. The attempt to instill anxiety, doubt, and confusion by demonic entities is futile when one remains steadfast in the face of these challenges. The effectiveness of their tactics is diminished when individuals maintain their composure. These entities depend on the destabilization of individuals to thrive. Subjects may exhibit signs of fear, such as making irrational decisions or losing hope. However, when observed, they appear to embody qualities of confidence and resilience. Fear may be a potent tool for those who oppose the subject, but it is rendered ineffective when confronted with someone of their caliber. Subjects demonstrate an understanding of this fact, as evidenced by their ability to withstand the influence of fear. It is acknowledged that spiritual beings are impervious to demonic influences when anchored in faith, clarity, and inner strength. Opponents of these subjects recognize the futility of their efforts and opt to withdraw. The seventh point pertains to the authenticity of the fear exhibited by the subjects. Those designated as chosen ones are not merely protected from malevolent entities, they actively disrupt the plans of such forces. Demons and negative entities tend to operate within specific patterns, habits, and vulnerabilities. They meticulously study human beings, seeking to exploit fear, insecurity, or doubt. However, when confronted with chosen ones, their tactics are wholly different. Chosen ones do not conform to their expectations, which greatly confuses them. The actions of chosen ones do not align with their preconceived scripts. While most individuals find themselves trapped in cycles of fear or failure, chosen ones operate on a higher level, following a divine guidance that eludes their adversaries. It is as if they are attempting to engage in a game of chess with an opponent who is playing a completely different game. They attempt to anticipate one's moves, yet the outcome does not align with their expectations. This confusion is not merely frustrating for them, it also weakens their position. Demons depend on their ability to predict behavior to manipulate outcomes by exerting the appropriate influence. However, when their tactics fail to influence an individual, they are left grappling with the situation. They are accustomed to people reacting to fear, succumbing to doubt, or being influenced by their insecurities. Yet, they do not encounter a reaction that aligns with their expectations. Instead of falling into their traps, one continues to move forward, making decisions that stem from a place of strength and purpose. The more they endeavor to comprehend one's essence, the more perplexed they become. One does not provide them with any material to work with. One's thoughts, actions, and decisions are in alignment with a purpose that eludes their perception or comprehension. It is as if one is operating on a frequency that eludes their attunement, a protective measure in itself. The inability to predict enables the prevention of manipulation. Consequently, while they expend their efforts to decipher one's identity and actions, one remains in a position of superiority, beyond their reach and beyond their capacity to alter. 8th, the notion of destiny is inextricably linked to a greater mission. Those designated as chosen ones possess a distinctive attribute that sets them apart from the rest, a profound inner peace that remains inviolable to demonic influence. This peace does not stem from the absence of challenges or difficulties in one's life. In reality, chosen ones frequently encounter more tribulations than the general populace. However, the distinguishing factor is that this peace is not contingent upon external circumstances. It is intrinsic, stemming from a profound connection to a higher power that provides a sense of stability and grounding, regardless of the surrounding environment. Demons, by their very nature, thrive in chaos, sowing confusion, drama, and fear in an attempt to draw individuals away from their path. Achieving equilibrium is paramount. However, when one possesses inner peace, the efforts of others are rendered futile. This is analogous to attempting to ignite a fire in a rain-soaked environment, where the attempt invariably fails. Despite their attempts to disrupt, one remains composed. This composure is a source of perplexity for those attempting to agitate, as they are unable to discern a method to disrupt one's equilibrium. The ability to maintain equilibrium in the face of adversity is indicative of a state of inner peace. In the context of external challenges, such efforts often prove futile, akin to attempting to ignite a fire in a rain-soaked environment. The pursuit of disorder by external forces is met with steadfast resistance, a quality that can be likened to a source of calm that evokes a state of disorientation in those who attempt to disrupt it. In the midst of turmoil, individuals who embody this peace appear to effortlessly navigate the storm, seemingly undisturbed by its tumultuous forces. The profound sense of calm that these individuals exude is not merely a state of tranquility, it serves as a source of frustration for those seeking to exert control. The very essence of inner peace is such that it thwarts the ability of external forces to influence those who remain unresponsive to their chaotic attempts. The objective of these external forces is to instill a sense of fear or panic in the individual, yet they are unsuccessful in doing so. The objective of the aforementioned parties is to instill feelings of overwhelmingness in order to maneuver the individual into a vulnerable position, where fear and doubt prevail. However, when an individual maintains composure and stability, these attempts become futile. The adverse party's capacity to influence is impeded by the presence of inner peace. It is noteworthy that the more intense their efforts to disrupt, the more profound the fortification of that inner peace becomes. Each endeavor to disturb equilibrium serves only to underscore the invulnerability of that peace. This peace is not merely a form of protection, it serves as a formidable weapon. The tranquil, unshakable essence that one embodies acts as a shield, rendering demons powerless to perturb the soul. The utterance of one's name in domains that are not perceptible to the human eye is a concept that warrants consideration. The assertion that the utterance of one's name in such domains is not merely a poetic expression but rather a grave cautionary message directed towards the entities that flourish in the absence of light is a noteworthy point. It is conceivable that one's name is perceived as merely a designation selected by one's progenitors or a distinctive identifier, devoid of any profound significance. However, it is crucial to recognize that this name carries a weight that extends far beyond what is commonly perceived. Malevolent entities are cognizant of one's name and are intimately acquainted with the divine authority that is inextricably linked to it. It is imperative to acknowledge that the fear experienced by these entities is not merely towards one's person, but rather, it is a profound trepidation that permeates their being. It is important to consider the potential consequences of provoking these entities. Envision a scenario in which demons convene in a clandestine meeting, discussing the strategic targeting of an individual. These entities are aware that this individual's name is inscribed on a celestial list, accompanied by a significant cautionary indicator. This signifies that any interaction with this individual carries a substantial risk, as if a neon sign were emitting a warning, "Touch at your own peril." A rapid risk assessment conducted by these entities reveals that any attempt to engage with this individual could result in an eternal game of hide and seek, with the potential for eternal loss. Harming this individual would not merely be a misguided act, it would be a transgression that defies spiritual logic. The consequences of this situation are such that they compel a re-evaluation of career choices. The individual in question is not merely a person, but rather one who has the backing of divine forces. This is akin to attempting to rob a bank that has been magically shielded. It is a futile endeavor. A more effective approach for this individual would be to focus on intimidating the unsuspecting or exploiting the vulnerabilities of others. Therefore, while they might utter your name in furtive whispers, it is not from any intention to wield power over you, but rather out of fear. The moment they contemplate pursuing you, they become aware that they are committing themselves to spiritual annihilation. The cosmic forces will swiftly remind them that your protection is as formidable as it is genuine, and they would be better off seeking more vulnerable targets. Number 10. The illumination of one's true self unveils the darkness surrounding them. Demons, akin to cockroaches, seek refuge in the shadows when confronted with the light. They thrive in the darkness, lurking in the corners of fear, doubt, and confusion, where they meticulously weave their schemes and sow the seeds of chaos. However, when chosen individuals enter the room, it is as if a bright, glaring light is suddenly switched on, instantly exposing the true nature of these creatures. They are rendered powerless and pathetic in the presence of light. The illumination of one's true self is not merely a matter of. The presence of light serves to unveil the darkness that shrouds these entities. These demonic entities, akin to cockroaches, seek refuge in the shadows when confronted with an illuminated environment. They thrive in the absence of light, lurking in the recesses of fear, doubt, and confusion. It is within these darkened spaces that they engage in their most prolific manipulation, sowing the seeds of chaos. However, when individuals of light enter the room, the contrast is stark. These entities are abruptly exposed for their true nature. The light, therefore, is not merely a metaphor, it is a powerful force that unveils the very essence of their darkness. It is not necessary for one to engage in overtly dramatic actions to have a significant impact. Merely by being one's authentic self, one brings a clarity that exposes the deceit and tricks employed by these entities. They rely on the shadows to confuse and mislead others. However, when one enters the space, their smoke and mirrors dissipate. They are no longer able to hide behind lies or fear tactics. The light, in its brilliance, renders their deceit and manipulations ineffective. Metaphor: it is a potent force that illuminates the very essence of their darkness. It is not that one is engaging in overtly dramatic behavior, rather, it is the act of being one's authentic self that brings about a clarity that exposes their stratagems and deceit. The demons rely on the shadows to confuse and mislead people. However, when one enters the scene, their smoke and mirrors dissipate. They are unable to hide behind their lies or fear tactics anymore. One shines a light so bright that it renders their strategies ineffective. This exposure is terrifying for them. Imagine their shock when they realize their attempts to manipulate are futile because one's presence unmasks their game. They want to thrive in secrecy, pulling the strings from behind the scenes. However, one is the spotlight that brings everything into focus. It is as if they are trying to perform a magic trick, only to have one reveal the hidden trapdoor they were using. The top demon knows it cannot. The efficacy of the aforementioned strategies is called into question. The exposure elicits a visceral reaction, compelling the realization that attempts to manipulate are futile due to the unmasking of their machinations by the presence of the subject. The desire to thrive in secrecy, manipulating from behind the scenes, is thwarted by the subject's ability to illuminate the hidden mechanisms, thereby exposing the concealed trapdoor. The entity in question is cognizant of the fact that the subject's exposure is capable of dismantling its hold on power. While the entity may express displeasure through hissing and snarls, it is aware that these actions are merely a facade. The subject's light does not merely illuminate the darkness, it renders it powerless. The subject's clarity in life reveals the entity's true nature, making it evident that the shadows have no hold over the subject. The subject's light, when shown, is not merely a personal phenomenon, it has a broader, more significant impact. 11th, you embody a formidable rebuke to darkness. Your very existence serves as a resounding counterargument to the reign of darkness, a bold declaration that such forces have no place here. Your light does not merely illuminate the darkness, it renders it powerless. You walk through life with a clarity that reveals the true nature of darkness, making it clear that the shadows have no hold over you. When you shine that light, it is not just a personal victory, it is a cosmic reminder that darkness can never compete with the power of light. 11th, you embody a profound and unassailable truth: the light always triumphs over darkness. Your mere existence serves as a palpable and resounding refutation of the darkness that seeks to prevail in this world. You are a living testament to the triumph of light over darkness, love over fear, and divine purpose over chaos and manipulation. Every act of breathing life into hope and faith counters the despair and hopelessness that darkness seeks to instill. Your very essence is a resounding refusal to be silenced. This audacity is a source of profound terror for darkness, which cannot prevail. They recognize that one's powerful essence is capable of dismantling their influence with a thought aligned with God's will. Thus, they panic when they realize that they cannot overpower someone whose very nature challenges their existence. It is not just one's actions, but also one's thoughts and intentions that resonate with divine power. When one aligns one's mind with God's purpose, it is as if one drops the notion that one's mere presence can have a profound impact on those who oppose them is a concept that is often overlooked. It is not merely one's actions but also one's thoughts and intentions that are seen as a source of divine power. When one aligns their mind with a higher purpose, it can be likened to the detonation of a spiritual explosive device in the midst of their networks of darkness. Those who stand in opposition to this force are aware of its unstoppable nature, and for this reason, they seek to avoid direct engagement. The individual in question is not merely a person, but rather, a living contradiction to the very fabric of darkness. The mere thought of engaging with this individual can be enough to cause those who oppose them to retreat. There is no need for confrontation or physical conflict. The mere existence of this individual is sufficient to cause those who oppose them to scatter in a state of panic. They are unable to contend with the truth and light that the notion that one carries a certain weight or responsibility is a fundamental aspect of the subject's philosophy. This concept serves as a primary source of concern for the opposing force, as it challenges their perception of power and authority. By embodying a state of being that is inherently resistant to their influence, the subject effectively dismantles their ability to exert control over the individual. This is further compounded by the notion that the subject's life is not merely a sequence of events or experiences, but rather a divine assignment that is imbued with a form of supernatural reinforcement. This phenomenon, according to the subject's philosophy, is of a magnitude that eludes the comprehension of most individuals. While some may perceive their struggles as solitary, the subject's philosophy posits the presence of celestial entities and armies that provide support and guidance. However, it is crucial to emphasize that these entities and armies are not merely a figment of the subject's imagination or a mere metaphor, but rather a tangible presence that serves a practical and supportive function. The following assertion is made: the notion of guardian angels is not merely a metaphorical concept, but rather, a divine entity that is actively involved in the lives of individuals, with the purpose of guiding and protecting them. These celestial beings are not merely there to ensure the safety and well-being of the individual, they are there to act on behalf of the individual, with a purpose that extends far beyond the mere protection of the individual. The concept of being watched over by angels is not just a matter of belief, it is a reality that infuses individuals with a sense of empowerment and guidance, especially in the face of challenges and difficulties. These angels, in their role as cosmic bodyguards, are not merely passive observers, they actively work to clear obstacles from the individual's path, ensuring that the individual's journey is unobstructed and that their goals and aspirations can be achieved. It is possible to move forward with confidence and purpose when confronted with a mission of significant importance. At such times, the cosmos aligns to provide assistance in ways that can be considered miraculous. These forces can be conceptualized as spiritual bouncers at a metaphorical club, ensuring that only positive energy is permitted through while keeping out negativity. The presence of these forces transforms one's life into a tapestry woven with divine intervention, reinforcing one's destiny with each passing moment. Every setback or struggle is met with an immediate response from this divine team. Although these forces may not be visible, their active involvement is evident. Navigating the spiritual currents to maintain alignment with one's true calling. In the face of challenges posed by dark forces, these enforcers intervene, transforming obstacles into opportunities. They ensure not only survival but also thriving, integrating each step into a meticulously designed plan. Consequently, when confronted with adversity, it is crucial to recognize the presence of celestial forces that facilitate the realization of one's destiny. This extraordinary reality is reinforced by supernatural support, underscoring the notion that one is not alone in the face of life's challenges. It has been demonstrated that this phenomenon engenders a sense of agency in the individual, one that challenges the conventional conception of passivity in the face of adversity. The journey, while not devoid of challenges, is said to be imbued with a divine aura that serves to transform obstacles into catalysts for personal growth and achievement. This notion, when contemplated, calls into question the very notion of one's existence as merely an earthly vessel, suggesting instead that one is a luminous being imbued with a profound purpose and an unyielding determination. The trials and tribulations that one encounters are not merely impediments but opportunities for the manifestation of one's intrinsic potency, a process that is purportedly facilitated by celestial entities. These entities, believed to be angelic armies, serve not only as protectors but also as catalysts, ensuring that one's path is not merely guarded but meticulously paved, as if to ensure the success of one's divine assignment. Supernatural energies are said to respond to the actions of the individual, thereby reinforcing the idea that every action is a declaration of resilience and a challenge to darkness. This concept is often used to support the idea that no individual is alone in their journey through life, and that the universe itself conspires to ensure that they remain aligned with their highest purpose. The darkness may whisper doubts and fears, but the individual's light shines brighter than any shadow. The individual is therefore considered a walking rebuke to negativity and chaos, a symbol of hope and strength in a world. It is often the case that existence is perceived as chaotic. The human condition often challenges the very fabric of darkness, exposing its limitations and revealing the boundless possibilities that come from living in alignment with divine will. As one moves forward, it is essential to carry this truth with one. It is important to recognize that one is not just destined for greatness, one is fortified by the very essence of divine love and power. Every step one takes echoes in the realms unseen, reminding those dark forces that they are powerless against the light that one embodies. It is crucial to embrace one's role as a chosen one, for the world needs one's brilliance, and the heavens celebrate your journey. Embrace the notion that you are divinely reinforced, unbreakable, and unstoppable in your pursuit of purpose. If this video resonated with you and ignited a spark within, then it is imperative that you take action. Do not keep this powerful message to yourself, share it with others by subscribing to our growing community of chosen ones. In this community, we delve deep into the extraordinary, exploring the divine truths that empower us all. Your journey deserves to be amplified, and subscribing ensures you never miss an enlightening moment. If you found this video useful, give us a thumbs up to show your support. Your support is requested. Please disseminate this video to friends and family members who may benefit from its content. It is impossible to predict who will be positively impacted by your actions. We value your feedback and invite you to share your comments, reflections, and the most significant insights you gain from viewing the video. By working collectively, we aspire to establish an environment characterized by inspiration and interpersonal connection. Your voice holds significant value, and we are eager to hear from you. We encourage you to participate in this endeavor, which aims to expand the reach and impact of our message. Please remember that you are not merely an observer, but a crucial element of this significant undertaking. Together, we can continue to make a positive impact.